Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Great to be here with you. Excited for another week of the Cabral Concept. This is, of course, our Mindset and Motivation Monday. Today I want to share with you an important topic, one that I've seen over and over in myself, as well as those in my private practice. And I can tell you that oftentimes we're the ones who can become our own worst enemy. And I say that not from a judgment standpoint or saying that we don't want to like ourselves or move forward with our goals and accomplish everything that our heart desires. But the truth is there are fundamental principles that many of us make as mistakes over and over in our life. And there's two main parts to this. This is what I want to share with you here today. The very first one is this. We often overestimate what we can accomplish in the short term. What does that mean? It means that we have the health goal, the weight loss goal, the spirituality goal, the career goal, the relationship goal, whatever it is. And once we decide what we want it right away. And that's oftentimes that's part of our culture, right? It's instant and immediate gratification. It's, well, if it's there and someone else has it, we want it too. And we don't want to wait. And oftentimes we don't necessarily want to put in the work because after all, if you can find a shortcut or you can get there faster, why wouldn't you want to do that, right? That's human nature. Less work, conservation of energy, get to your desired outcome as fast as possible. There's a few different issues with this though. One is that if we get something too quickly, now again, I'm saying that this is a major goal you're after, right? Like it's a health goal, autoimmune maybe it's a relationship goal. You're looking for that right person. You've been in relationships before and they haven't really worked out, or career, looking to make a switch to a career that really feeds your passion, right? That fuels you on a day-to-day basis. Maybe it's body transformation. You want to lose 30 pounds or 40 pounds, whatever it may be. And of course, there's so many others. But when we look at that, we see what we could be. We see our potential, and we want that right away. The problem is if we were to get it right away by chance, and I can share some of those in just a moment, it doesn't necessarily stick. And that's the issue, right? So there were times in my healing journey, 17 years old, all sorts of health issues, took 2 years even to get a diagnosis of Addisons disease, rheumatoid arthritis, type 2 diabetes, all sorts of inflammatory conditions like mast cell activation syndrome, mastocytosis. I had POTS, I had insomnia, I had debilitating allergies. I was an absolute mess. And it took 2 years to get some of those diagnoses. I had acid reflux. I had all sorts of issues. But then after that, I actually after 2 years, totally done with conventional medicine at that point. I was just put on a handful of medications. And it was the mid to late 90s. I started to understand and think about and hear about more natural health-based practitioners, sought some of them out, and actually started to feel well at times. But then I would relapse, right? So I would get well, I would do these things, then relapse. Get well, do certain things, relapse again, and I felt just as bad as I ever had. And the reason I would relapse is I didn't know how I got well. That's the issue. Meaning I was doing all sorts of different things, but I didn't know which ones and why they were sticking. And because of that, I either had to maintain everything and add nothing new to my life, or like many people, I thought I was well. I thought that was it. And I thought I could go back to who I was before that. I want to share with you a story. I was just recently working with a wellness client in my practice, and they had debilitating skin-based issues. So they had basically an autoimmune reaction from, we'll just call it this way because I don't want to get too hard on them or conventional medicine, but a corticosteroid cream they were using in their face. And so they had a withdrawal-based reaction. At the same time, they had been on antibiotics about a month or so to 2 months before that. And so when they came to me, they had one of the worst cases you could see of a corticosteroid-based skin withdrawal. And I might do a whole episode on this because I know how many people are suffering out there. And so what I had them do was a protocol I'd done many times before in order to help them heal. And in about 2 to 3 weeks' time, even though this can take months, all of a sudden, their face cleared up. Now, again, it wasn't magic. It wasn't out of the blue. We did very specific things and had them on a very specific diet and using very specific nutritional supplements and not having them do a lot of other things that you may think would be beneficial, like workouts and sauna. No, not in the short term, because there was a lot of histamine-based issues with this individual. And so their skin cleared up and they thanked me, of course. They thought it was a miracle. I warned them. I said right away to them, I said, listen, I'm very happy for you because I know that this can take months and sometimes years for individuals. It doesn't have to. I want you to very slowly add one new variable to your diet or skincare routine at a time. And so they took my advice for about a week and things were still good. And then they started slowly, not really slowly, they started to move back to their previous life. Well, lo and behold, a week later, those skin rashes and everything blew back up on their face. They came back into the practice. They said, here's where I am. I'm back at square one. And I said, got it. I understand. It's okay, because you have to let people know it is okay, because it is. We've all been there, right? Relapsed, went back. And I said, I want you to know this happens all the time. But you have to understand is that you've emptied your rain barrel with me on the protocol that I put you on. But it doesn't mean that you've emptied it all the way. You emptied it below the surface, so now your symptoms are gone. But if you fill back up that rain barrel, what happens is the symptoms come right back. So my job with you and the plan I have for you is a 12 to 16 week plan. You were on it for 3 weeks with me, right? And so what I want to do is 12 to 16 weeks, gradually and slowly adding back in while we continue to empty the rain barrel. And so that is exactly what we did. But we have to understand is that although they did become symptom-free in 3 weeks, which happens for many, many people, the healing has not fully taken place. We've just emptied that rain barrel. I try to share this with people all the time, right? And so what happened was this person thought they were better, thought that everything was good. And we see this a lot of times with our body transformation clients too. Now, some people want to gain weight, want to gain muscle, totally get it. But the vast majority of people want to lose weight. They want to lose body fat. So we have people come in and it's usually only after, in the short term, they wanted to lose 20 to 30 to 50 pounds in 4 weeks, 6 weeks. I'm serious. People want to do this. Many people do, right? If someone could say, hey, I can help you lose 30 pounds in 30 days, wouldn't you rather do that than over the course of, 12 weeks or 16 weeks? The answer most likely be yes. Of course, I want to lose 30 pounds in 4 weeks, right? Now, if you weigh 300 pounds, it's actually pretty easy to lose 30 pounds in 30 days. But if you're only 30 pounds to 40 pounds away from your goal and you lose it all in your first 4 weeks, the problem is it's very likely that you've lost a lot of muscle. And the problem is this is what a lot of people do on crash course-based diets, and especially adding exercise to that. Now, again, I'm a huge advocate of exercise, huge advocate, right? But it has to be done the right way. Because if you're now putting out more energy, and you're taking in less energy, because food is energy, right? Calories are literally measured in joules like energy. You have to understand is that your metabolism is going to begin to lower and slower. And that is because your body only has so much energy, right? So it's like, oh, well, we'll lower metabolic processes so we don't burn as many calories because you're not giving us more calories. You're actually taking calories away and you're asking us to put out more calories. So what happens is people go on a keto diet, carnivore diet, a diet that they can't keep up for the rest of their life. And then they crush their metabolism. They destroy, especially women, their female hormones, their thyroid levels, their cortisol levels go up at night. They're lower in the morning. Again, we test all of these things. So it's not like I'm guessing here. This is exactly what happens, right? And you can run this lab for yourself as well. It's just called the stress mood and metabolism test. All these labs are over at Equilife. You can just go to stephencabral.com/shop. That'll head you over to Equilife. There's all of the lab tests we do around the world, and of course, all the protocols. Or of course, you can always find a good integrative health practitioner, whoever you want to work with, that's up to you. I just want you to know all of this is available. But when they get to us then, it was trying to make too much happen in the short term, and now we need to put back together their metabolism, which you can do. Again, you can do anything you want with your body. Always keep that in mind. There's always hope, and you will recover, and you will heal. You just have to follow a process that enables your body to have the raw material it needs and to also work with the natural healing process of the body. So we begin then to increase and improve cortisol levels in the morning so you don't have brain fog and debilitating fatigue and all of these things, feel like a walking zombie, right? And then lower cortisol at night so you can start to sleep, you can start to rebalance those hormone levels, thyroid levels start to come up more naturally. Estrogen dominance begins to go away, and so much more, right? So we have to rebuild that metabolism. But now the problem is that will take months, and that's okay because, it's life and, you have many, many months. But if we did it right the first time, we wouldn't have to fix it in the long term. Which brings me now to part 2. So although human nature is to overestimate what we can or should do in the short term, which essentially just makes us frustrated, right? Like we've got these big goals and we want them to come through true right away, even with career. Like I work with so many health coaches and they get so frustrated. Like I should already have a full client, roster right now. I started 30 days ago as a health coach. I started posting on social media a few times a week and I don't have 100 clients, right? It's like, I get it. I understand. I was there myself as well, right? So it's like we get frustrated because we know what we want. We want it now. We're not there yet. All right. So that's human nature. We overestimate oftentimes what we can do in the short term. But the second half is this. We underestimate what we can accomplish in the long term. So although we're like, well, I would love to be working with, let's just say, 5 clients a week, 20 clients a month, or you want to lose the 20 to 30 pounds. You want to get well and healthy and all these great things, right? The issue is, you could actually ask for more. You could ask for double the amount of clients. You could work with 10 clients a week. You could work with more, right? You could not only lose the 20, 30, 40 pounds, but you can actually begin to do some more resistance training, really get the body in amazing shape. And then not just like get good health, but robust health, like the best health you've ever had. You can have all of those things. So what I'm saying to you is this, you should actually go bigger with your goals. Whatever your goals are right now, you should definitely ask for more from God and the universe. Like there's not a limited supply. There's an unlimited supply. So I actually believe people are asking for too little. The issue is they're asking for too much in the short term and too little in the long term. Set bigger goals for yourself, but don't create such a small window that causes frustration, right? If you settle for 30 pounds of weight loss, but you really want 50, save 50. Right? Go for 50, but then ask for what's realistic and what you can accomplish that won't get you super frustrated, which is 1 to 2 pounds per week, right? So on the very short term, now again, an integrative health practitioner, my team, whoever, they can help you lose for sure weight faster. There's no doubt about that. But let's just think low and slow. Let's think of this as a 12-month plan then, right? Let's just say you're 50 years old. Well, you get another 50 years, right? And so if we look at it that way, let's look at the long term. Let's lose the 50 pounds. Let's just go 1 pound a week. That's it. And if on average you're just losing, 4 pounds at the end of a month, you're on track. 1 week you don't lose any, the next week you lose 1.5 pounds, the next week you don't lose any, the next week you lose 2.5 pounds. Or it's 1 pound a week. But that'll enable you, yeah, it's slow, I get it, and it's not as sexy and exciting. But the thing is this, at the end of the year, you've accomplished your goal. Instead of what so many people do is join the gym, start a diet, fall off the diet, fall off the gym, begin again each January. I mean, this is what we see, and I don't want that for you. So now you can accomplish that goal and you say, listen, I'm gonna make it happen over the course of 6 months or a year, right? Lose 2 pounds, well, you can accomplish it faster. Same with your health. It doesn't need to happen overnight. I know you want it to, and I get that, and we want it to as well. But let's go for this. Let's go for the symptom-free in 3 to 6 weeks. But let's not give up then. Let's not stop then. Let's continue. Most health issues can be completely eradicated and rebalanced in 3 to 6 months. With the proper identification through at-home functional medicine lab testing, and then the proper personalized protocols. Like that's how it works, and it will always work that way. It's how I got well. It took 10 years for someone to show me that, my mentor, Dr. Pete. But once I did it, that was it. And it's how I start to feel better. And I mean, I'm already well and been well for a long time, but I literally feel better every single year. And that shouldn't be possible. But I continue to test and refine and figure out exactly every nuance of where it works well for my body. Because hopefully I do have another 50 plus years. right? And so it's, for me, there's no longer the pressure. I took the pressure off myself from saying, you're good where you are. Let's continue to even improve greater. Like that's the goal. And you can do that for everything. For your career, if you're an integrative health practitioner, if you're a health coach, if you're starting off on your own as a nurse or chiropractor or whatever it might be, personal trainer, understand that if you just work on getting 1 to 2 new clients per month, after the course of a year, you will be where you want to be. Right? Like you're just going to be where you want to be. You're going to get referrals from those individual clients. You're going to get, even just shoot for 1 new client a week, like however you want to do it. You won't be as busy as you want to be in the beginning, but it will also give you time to refine your practice, your career, your skill set, all of those things, your education, and you'll get better and better and better. Now, that's a slower way to do it, but if this is what you want, you're going to make it happen. So for so many people out there, as I've said before, I actually think that the goals are too small. I want you to go bigger. I want you to aim higher with everything that you want in life. I want you to hit your full potential for whatever you believe that to be and go beyond it, because we always have more potential than we think we do. I just don't want you to shrink the timeline to be so small that you get so frustrated. And the other thing is this: choose something that you love. Choose something that you want to work towards. So if it does take a while, 3 months, 6 months, a year, maybe even 2 years for whatever it is that you're working on, you can develop a timeline and actually begin to enjoy the process. Because it is through the process that we start to learn so much about the topic at hand, but also about ourselves, right? We begin to understand what makes us tick, what makes us happy. And I can tell you a lot and work with you a lot and really discuss health and body transformation and, in the health realm with helping those who want to develop a successful health-based practice, right? Helping others, serving others. But in terms of relationships and spirituality, which certainly is something that I love to talk about and study and research, what I found in both of those, since they're a little bit more maybe esoteric or a little bit more meta, is what I found with relationships and what I found with other people and spirituality and your relationship with God and the universe is that so much of that is already in you. It really is. So much of that is inside of us. The answers we seek are already in us. And we have to be open to them. And we have to be willing and open to explore it. Have conversations not with us, just with the significant other, but with ourselves. And begin to then open up possibilities of who we can be, who we want to become, and then outstretch that arm, whether it is to your community or your church or significant others or whoever it might be, to start to have these conversations. But I'm telling you right now, in order to get where you want to go, you need to become a different person. And I have previous podcasts on that, and I don't mean not you, you'll still be you, but you need to become the person who does the things, right, takes the actions to become the individual worthy of having whatever it is that you want. So just a quick example to wrap up the show, and that would be, if you want to lose the weight and transform your body, your nutrition will look different. Your movement will look different. Your sleep will look different. Your internal health and your gut will look different. Your metabolism and hormones will look different. It will be different because it'll now be that of an individual who has the ideal weight that you're looking for. And the same thing goes for career, for relationships. It'll look different because now it'll be the actions of a person who is now, I put this in air quotes if you're not watching this in video, who's worthy of achieving this goal and this potential that you seek. And trust me, you are. All it takes is a mindset shift from not overestimating what we can do in the short term and not underestimating what you can do in the long term. Hopefully today's show was helpful. All the notes are over at 3062. Do feel free to share this show with anyone you believe it could serve. And again, that's stephencabral.com/3062 for all the big takeaways from today. Take care, everybody. Have an amazing rest of the day, and I'll talk with you tomorrow on the Cabral Concept. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.